guys, welcome back to the garden. We're in the cool of the evening, which is my very favorite time to be in the garden. I love hanging out here. We haven't had very many cool evenings lately, and so I wanted to take advantage of this one. My garden has grown even since I showed you last, and I've never completely taken you on a full garden tour, so I thought tonight would be the night. So anyway, I got a few things I want to show you here. So let's go. Alright, I want to start at the beginning of the arbors and let you see how big and lush everything is growing. And up here, I showed you before, but I didn't have any noodle beans this big, but look at the noodle beans, how big they are. And I have several that are just dripping off the plant there. Those are so fun. I love the noodle beans. And I have cucumbers coming up here. I planted these not very long ago, and so they're taking off pretty good. As long as those squash bugs don't get on them that are on my others, we'll be doing okay. And I'm going to show you those in a minute. And they look pretty pitiful, but they're still growing cucumbers. So my tomatoes are doing great. Here I have a Dr. Witchy's down there. I'll show you on the other side. I have a huge tomato. I'm going to weigh it as well. Here's the zinnias. And there is the peppermint stick. I think those are so amazing and so beautiful. And the polar bear zinnia. Alright, here are... Now these big tomatoes are actually Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes, and they are the biggest tomatoes I've grown. I don't know if you can see the one back there, but I had one that was 1 pound 4 ounces, and I believe this one's going to beat it. It's huge. I'm excited for that tomato. We have peppers. My peppers are lagging a little behind out here. And here we have the cherry chocolate tomatoes. There's little tomatoes down there. There's little cherry tomatoes, but they're very sweet and very good. Let me pick one for you. They're very sweet, very good. And I have made 3 batches of salsa this week, and if I can get another one done tomorrow, I have plenty of tomatoes for it. So if I don't, I will be giving some tomatoes away tomorrow. So, and the cucamelons, I'm going to show you the outside of the arbor. They are going crazy. And they're hanging down from inside. Look at all the little cucamelons. I need to harvest these. So the black-eyed Susan vine is doing its thing. It is really pretty. It's all over the place. And the chard I've been using, I've made lots of salads out of it. I have several chards growing. I just keep cutting leaves off of it, and it keeps growing, and it's kept us in salad for the summer because that stuff holds up. More zinnias. And there's the goats. I know, it's weird that they're in the same place they were the last time you saw my video. So, more zinnias. And here are the pink margarita zinnias. Now when you grow zinnias, or anything actually, as they begin to die on the stem and the heads dry up, this one isn't far from it. I will save that and get the seeds out of it for next year, so you can replace your seeds. And of course sunflowers are real easy to do. And there's my red stem chard, and another cucumber that's doing actually really good, but he's just the neighbor to the ones that aren't. And over here is where some bugs got on these, and some ants are all over these crazy things. They're still growing cucumbers, but they are looking pathetic. I actually cut them back a little bit, and this one is really rough as well. So what I found is the best thing to do with the cucumbers and almost anything in the garden that has a pest problem is to use neem oil, because I like to keep it organic. And so I put 2 teaspoons of neem oil into a gallon pump-up sprayer with just 1 squirt of dish soap, so there's a surfactant in there, and then keep mixing it because the oil and fill it up with water. Keep mixing it because the oil in the water doesn't really want to stay mixed, so as you're pumping it, you'll have to keep shaking it up. And sorry, my camera got really dark there for a minute. So anyway, and then I spray my plants with it, and most often that takes it away. I was using the garlic as well, and that did seem to help also. But boy, it's noisy out here today. But anyway, that will help, and I'm actually going to do that tomorrow because these have a lot of ants on them. So I'm going to go with the neem oil and spray these, and hopefully they'll come out of it. If they don't, I plant more. And here is the corn again. We've eaten quite a lot of corn out of this, and there's quite a few heads getting ready, ears of corn, not heads, but ears of corn, getting ready to need to be eaten. It was very sweet. It was peaches and cream corn. And the beans are doing pretty good. I haven't honestly picked a lot of beans, but my corn shaded these on one side, so they didn't produce as many beans as they would have if they would have been out in the sun. So over here I have more tomatoes. Like I said, I could do salsa tomorrow. I have enough tomatoes to do salsa. And I'm actually going to do a video on that and show you how I make my salsa. I have a way to roast the vegetables in the oven, and it makes it really easy and really fast. Now over here is kind of a mess. I have fennel growing in the front, and I have tomatillas in there. My blueberries are actually in there too, but this grew up in weeds and it got away from me. So that is a project I have to work on. We're going to remove our blueberries from here because they like acid soil, and this doesn't seem to be, so they don't care for that too much. And over here are some more zinnias I'm going to be saving seeds to. They're bright orange and absolutely beautiful. And some more small bumblebee tomatoes. And this looks like a Dr. Witchy's tomato here. My holy basil has gone to seed, and it is huge. Basils don't taste as good once they go to seed. They get more of a bitter taste, and I did harvest a lot of this and made tea out of it. Holy basil isn't used like a regular basil, so but I do make tea out of it, and it makes a very good tea. But I will probably go ahead and let that seed and get some seeds for next year. And we have more bumblebee tomatoes up here, and those have been amazing this year. And here's a green striped bumblebee tomato, and those are really pretty. I have had so many volunteer tomato plants come up in my walkways, and I can hardly bear to pull them out. So I've let them grow, and they kind of are jungly a little bit now. It's evening, so my cardinal climbers have closed up. So let's run on over to the watermelon patch. So here's the Melon Bowl. This is a cow tank that my husband and I bought used off Marketplace. And you can't hardly see it now, but he did paint it a terracotta color for me. And we plant sweet potatoes and watermelons and cantaloupe in there. And every year it's done really well. I have lots of watermelons. There's one. And I haven't even counted them. I've got quite a few. There's a little guy out here. And another little one. And there's one there. And I have several over here. But this thing has gone crazy. My husband says there's one inside the tank growing also, so that's exciting. But this is a fun idea, and it just, I put the sweet potatoes in the middle, and the potato is growing in the dirt, and really the roots of the watermelon don't take up too much room, and I try to pull their arms out so they grow on the outside. So the two make a great companion, because the watermelons are out here and the sweet potatoes are in the tank. So look at this odd looking little watermelon right here. He's an odd little shape. And I think that's a sugar baby watermelon. And this one is huge. And you know when a watermelon's ripe, when the stem next to it starts to die off. And this one is getting a little bit that way, but it's not ripe yet. So that'll be fun to cut open and eat whenever it is. So I just want to bring your attention to these zinnias. I did not grow these from seed. I actually bought them from a nursery in Jamesport, but the color is fabulous. And I'm going to save seeds from these for next year, and hopefully I can grow some of those next year. And over here we had some purple basil, and it's gone to seed. So basil is something fun to use in bouquets though, when you do cut flower arrangements. And I had spinach in here. It overwintered and then died out, and I replanted twice, and this is all I have. So that hasn't done so well, but it is warm to be planting spinach. So and here are the peppers, and they are lush and beautiful. There's all kinds of peppers in here. I want to show you though over here the tomatoes that are just clustered up on the fence. So I definitely need to do something with tomatoes tomorrow. It's time. So thanks for joining me in the garden. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope more than anything that it inspires you to grow something, anything, in a pot, in the ground, in a raised bed, wherever you have room, even if it's in a jar on your counter. So anyway, thanks for joining me in the garden tonight, and have a blessed evening.